Alright, we're going to be getting into another traditional best of 3 Zendikar draft. Let's see how we do here, see what is going to be in play today. Okay, so what do we got here? Rare of the pack is Roiling Vortex. So, kind of an aggro card. Probably meant more for constructed than for limited. Do you have Bubble Snare? Got Kargan War Leader. Selendi Visions. So Bubble Snare is solid removal. Doesn't tie me to being in blue that much. Selendi Vision does try to tie me into having an instant or sorcery deck. It has whiffed for me a number of times. Kargan War Leader, solid for aggro. So I think it's between Bubble Snare and Kargan War Leader. I think we take Bubble Snare just to stay more open. Probably going to be then pushing whoever is to my left, maybe into Warriors. So we'll see as those come around. All right. So second pick, you do see a Soaring Thought Thief, Vanquish the Weak, Pack Beast. Calm the Ambush is a solid double-faced card. So we could try to go for rogues here and go with this Soaring Thought Thief. Synergies are important. I think Acquisition Expert probably wouldn't wheel. So if I'm lucky, maybe Vanquish, or maybe a Mind Drain or a Stonework Pack Beast might wheel, but that also seems somewhat unlikely. I think we go with Soaring Thought Thief here. Try to see if Rogues is open. And if it is, this is going to be a nice payoff for being in the Rogues. A nice enabler. Alright, well, we see a second. We also see Maddening Cacophony and Into the Royal. Well, I think we take the second and hope to go into Rogues. Alright, so Confounding Conundrum, probably pretty bad. Malakir Rebirth could be a solid pick here. Seems like a decent amount of red in here, but I think Malakir Rebirth is a better pick here. Alright, here we got Akum Warrior, the uncommon double-faced for red for 5 Trampler, but I think the picks for me are either Seafloor Stalker or Vanquish the Weak. And I think if I am going for rogues, I think Seafloor Stalker is going to be more important because it is a rogue. It can help swing in for that, for those last points of damage, and it will benefit from Soaring Thought Thief's buff there, boosting rogues. So could take a second Seafloor Stalker, or it could go for the Royal Mage. I think we go for the Royal Mage to help enable party, get some wizards in here. Cinderclasm's interesting. But we are still seeing some rogues. Does look like Landfall is open though. Canyon Jerboa on the late here. So I feel like if I actually had gone aggro, I would have had a decent set of cards here, decent lineup getting past. But I think we're kind of hoping to get into rogues here. We already got 2 great rogues. Seafloor Stalker is pretty solid as well. We can do some recurring here of kill spells or of, into the Royals if we do get that much mana. So here there isn't anything all that great. Tremendous Silencer is a rogue, but it is a party-based rogue, and right now we're not having that great of a spread for the party. I guess we can go for Bugcatcher, maybe boost the party count. Yeah, I mean, in these rogue-focused decks, I haven't really been thrilled with the with that silencer. It hasn't really been that great in my mind. So I could rare draft Roiling Vortex, but I think Skyclave Sentinel, or actually Highborn Vampire because it is a warrior. Pack Beast. Pack Beast or Glacial Grasp. I think we go Pack Beast because it does boost the party count. Also helps with mana fixing if I do want to splash black or something. So this is best of 3, so Concerted Defense could be okay. We see a removal heavy deck. Conundrum. Alright, so we do have a Lull Mage's Domination. I think that's got to be what we take here. So someone else to take the Vanquish the Weak. Someone else is in black, most likely. There are a couple of good blue cards here. But I think, and yeah, just reflecting, I would have had a really nice time, I think, if I had all-in on that warrior, the warrior lord, but didn't happen, so can't beat yourself up. Just got to go with what we have, and Lull Mage's Dominion is a pretty great thing to have, so we're going to take that. 9 creatures so far. Decent number of 2-drops. Charix. Well, that is interesting. What would be the alternatives? So Charix could be interesting. I also have a Blood Priest to boost party count. Or Blood Beckoning to recur some of my threats. But I think Charix is the way to go here. So there's Royal Eruption in this pack, but there's also Spell Shield and a bunch of landfall type cards. I only have one, or I guess 2 wizards technically now. So Chilling Trap is okay, but I think Spell Shield is better. Help protect my rogues. Alright, Ruin Crab. That is a solid pickup, I think. Because we are kind of going heavy on the mill theme. Into the Royal Might Wheel, probably not. But we'll take the Mill Crab because that is a great card. Roost of Drakes. Okay. How many kickers do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 kickers. Alternate here would be Umar Wizard, but I mean I've heard Roost of Drakes is great. So I think we're going to take that. Maybe play some kicker spells as well in addition to my favorite rogue theme here. So into the Royal, another great kicker card. Especially one trying to do mill, trying to slow down the opponent. So I think that beats up Blood Beckoning, because if I'm having to recur some of my threats, I'm probably not doing all that great as it stands. So because we just did see Kicker, Field Research could be better than Living Tempest, and it would give me something to do late game, though I also don't have all that much removal. But I think we take Field Research for that extra synergy there. Here I think we take Windrobber, Flying Rogue that does milling and can be sacrificed later to draw cards. I guess we'll take another Field Research. Probably not going to play both. Okay. Blood Price or Negate? I think we take Negate here, sideboard. Again, help protect my creatures, my rogues. So at this point, I have a couple of extra party creatures. So how many wizards do I have actually? can have a negate, I guess. And the thing with Sherix is like if I can just keep this up and have a negate as backup or something, it's going to be pretty strong, pretty tough to deal with. I have to have a destroy spell or, you know, some kind of a death toucher, but then, you know, I'd have a negate up. So Sharks could be pretty great here as I just stall for lethal. So here we have another Wind Robber. I do have a Myriad Construct. And I do have at least several, or three spells that can target Myriad Construct to make a bunch of creatures. So that's not too bad. Deadly Alliance is also pretty good, I think. Getting to destroy a creature is kind of just what I need to be doing. I think we take Deadly Alliance over Myriad Construct just because I don't have much removal yet. Alright, well there's another Deadly Alliance. So I'm not going to be getting much life, so that's probably not going to be great. Skydancer could be interesting, getting to mill 2, but Cunning Geyser Mage could also be good as well, and is a kicker, so it's going to pay off with my Roost of Drakes. And it's Wizard, so again it helps boost party, so I think we'll take Geyser Mage. A lot of 1-drops. So there's another Deadly Alliance. We also have Zoth Consumption, Silencer. Can we take Deadly Alliance? Oh, another Milkrad. Look at that. 2 of them. And a Cleric card. So we got to take the Moon Crab here. Go hard into that mill life. Subtle Strike or Palaka's Predation, Draenus Silencer. Got Palaka's Predation here. Another Seafloor Stalker. So do I want to take the Seafloor Stalker or do I want to take Anti-Cognition? I think I want the Seafloor Stalker. So now do I want Skyclave Plunder or Risen Riptide? How many kickers do I have? An okay number, but I think we want more card draw. Mind Drain. So I don't have any of the Mind Carvers to buff this. That's one combo I like doing in these kind of decks before. Could play Living Tempest, something else to do for 5 mana. Although it is kicker, so I guess, yeah. That is a perk. Take the Rogue. Take the Knife, I guess. Alright, well there we go. We have constructed the draft. Or rather a deck. Finished the draft. Still have 16 creatures. A lot of 1-drops. So I feel like probably not going to want to play Palaka's Predation all that often. So you can probably get rid of a Swamp. Now I do have some good targets for the Royal Mage as well. So still 3 cuts though. I guess a Duelist. The Vampire, yeah, it's not great. It is a Warrior, so it does boost some party things, but still, it's a kind of a bad rate. maybe field research. It could just help me stall the game too, so I don't really want to cut Jarix, I think. Let's give it a whirl. On to match one. All right. I guess it's keepable. Not want to be greedy to try to mull for a ruined crab. Guess I'll play Ghastly Gloom Hunter on 2. Maybe Galactus Predation tap down next turn. Nothing to do on 3 mana. I can already enter the Royal for 2. So I do get my next land drop. Do I even need 2 black for anything? Kicking the Gloom Hunter, but that's already down. So I don't really need 2 black. So yeah, I guess casting this is probably the best move here. See what they have. I think we get rid of the Scion of the Swarm. Maybe they play down there. No, okay, so they're missing. They are missing their white mana. So limit me for 2. So they get the right mana. Sure. It is a cleric, which is interesting. Though next turn I can Soaring Thought Thief, the Alliance. So we're going to Deadly Alliance first, killing the Hierophant. Make sure it's gone. No one for 2. So we're going to hold up Rebirth here, because I think they're going to want to be more proactive and want to play something and not try to cast Vanquish the Weak. Although, no, they want to cast Vanquish the Weak. Sure. Fine by me. Right, we have the Mill Crab. So keeping up on life totals here. I know they have a Subtle Strike. So theoretically, if they attack, they could try to use it and get rid of my crab. That's fine, 2 damage, not a big deal. Sure. So they're at 8 cards now. That is a sorcery. So if they +1, +1, -1, -1. That's fine. So I want to steal their Dreadworm if they play it next turn. Play a swamp and go further. So next turn I can Null Mage's Dominion or Domination, and then try to keep up their worm, or they keep up shield for their worm to protect it. So we'll see what they do. See if they want to start trading. So they don't. Oh, they want to do both? So they don't want to attack with either one. Interesting. These might be the only two creatures then. Sure. So it costs 3 less, so if we want to target a creature that would be 5, it would be 8. So yeah, we can do this. Now we got my Seafloor Stalker. So we can play that next turn. Well, okay, so they do that. That's fine, but they're 2 for 1 themselves, basically. So they only have 13 cards left. We're going to play my Stalker, pass the turn. Sure. Probably give it to their Gloom Hunter so they can get more life gain. Oh no? Okay. Interesting. Not attacking, sure. Another Ruined Crab. Okay. Crab tribal over here. %, chance to draw a land. Don't get it. That's okay. just concede. Game 1. Alright, so we're playing Cleric Tribal. They had Nahiri's Binding. What else did they have? They had that Cleric that was pretty strong. They could recur their other clerics when it or other clerics died. So I don't know that negates are going to be all that great. Disenchant would be nice, but not in white. Mucklord. So we could play Concerted Defense, probably be kind of a Spell Pierce, oftentimes. Is that playing 41 cards? Alright, game 2, match 1. This game's kind of terrible. All wrong, except for Deadly Alliance, but I don't wait till turn 5 to play something. So I'm gonna mulligan. Get the Milk Crab, take that. The swamp over there. You are milling, my man. So do I want to play Negate here, or rather Gloom Hunter? I think we hold it up. Hey, we hit their bomb. Nice. They may attack and get the counter there. Spell if they have it. They have something they can do. Kind of calling their bluff here. Oh, I am calling their bluff. Sure, they have Subtle Strike. We'll negate that. So we'll play an island. 3. So if I get another mana, I can kick Roost of Drakes and then start going towards Geyser Mage. So I think the best play here is just to get something in the air, start gaining some life, help stall the game, help me get those extra lands. Now I had that 1 mana up. I'm not going to call the bluff twice. Sure. So we're kind of bluffing that I have protection here. It just destroys it, sure. Really need that 4th land. So if they attack, I'm definitely blocking, but they don't. So we'll go to combat, swing the air, Roost of Drakes, my token. Next turn, hopefully play Skyclave Plunder, draw a card, but I'm not, or draw land, I should say. Not sure what's going to happen though. buff, 1 card in hand. Sure. So get rid of a removal spell. Fine by me. One in the air. Keep my Drake back. Threaten to block their Cleric or their Core Celebrant. Alright, we just get 3 cards. Sure. It's gonna enable Kicker next turn. And we can put back Gloom Hunter. That's solid. No, we do have another Mill Crab here. No, I think the better play is to play the island, go to combat, swing in the air for 1. Geyser Mage, bounce my own Gloom Hunter. I can kick next turn and play Rune Crab. There you go, maximum value. No blocks. So we'll start with the Rune Crab. Play an island. And play Gloom Hunter. Kicked. Get my Drake. Yeah, I mean, Roosted Drakes. It's pretty unreal. Block with the Rune Crab. Excuse me, not really key to victory at this point. Already attacking on so many lines. Start by pulling a Swamp Vote. Just fly over top. So they're not dead next turn, but they will be the turn after. Sure. Doesn't change the clock, so not really that big of a deal. Sure. So we'll play a land. Mill them down to 7 cards. Yeah, this game is over, it would seem. Let's play the Seafloor Stalker out for good measure. End of turn. And it's all they even have with the big board wipe. They don't have that mana. They need 8. So they're still far from survival. So they're gonna gain some life here. Decent amount, actually. They can give one of the clerics lifelink, sure, so they go over there. Won't block it. So I have 6 in the air. I have 2 creatures in my party, so this costs 3, and I have 9 mana, so I can do it 3 times, so they are dead. So they can't gain any more life. They're all tapped out, they have no cards in hand, so this should be lethal. And there we go. GG, opponent. Got our first win of the game. Alright, getting into match 2 here of the Zendikar draft. This looks okay. We can start off with a Ruin Crab and then play Malakir Rebirth as a land, or just keep up another land for Spell Shield. See what my opponent's second color is. Excuse me, because they're probably not going to be mono blue. I have to, yes. So kicker, sure. So with this, we don't even have to. Maybe save Malik here. So they're playing some kind of a kicker landfall deck, it looks like. Sure. Fine by me. Going, play my stalker and pass. So next turn I'm going to turn on Lone Mage's Dominion, although I guess I should have probably played this island before. I played that second swamp so I could play Dominion a turn earlier. So they're thinking about doing something. Taking it with that. Okay. Second milk crab, no. So they're eyeing my stalker, maybe thinking about attacking or about doing some kind of a ram through effect. Alright, that is going to be what I take. Sure. Sure, opponent. That swarm. Next turn I can kick Geyser Mage, play Malakir Rebirth as a land if need be. Start making my own scoop copies that they won't be able to return or take back. You have 3 cards left. So they're eyeing my graveyard, which is a little worrying. Hopefully they don't have a second copy of Dominion or Domination. Sure. Yeah, wouldn't have helped. See if they have a counter spell. Thinking real hard about it. So down to 1 card in there, or 2 cards now. What are they doing? Another fight effect? Pretty nice if they did. Alright. sharks here. Pass the turn. So I do have to be careful my own Ruined Crabby used against me. And they get double landfall, that's not good. So I can start swinging for 6 though. I only have 14 cards left in my library. Spells like targeted do cost 2 more to play, which is good for me. Okay, just the land. Although that's probably not something I should be saying at this point. So what else do I have left in my deck here that could help? A Soaring Thought Thief, and Into the Royal, Roost of Drakes, 5 lands, Deadly Alliance. I have 17 cards left. So now I can pump Sharks next turn for 8. Yeah, I think I just need to commit to the board here to start getting more creatures out. And I can also have Seaflower Stalker hit for cheap 2. So we'll make you unblockable. If I draw a land and he's dead. Not great. I have 1 Into the World left. Got me stalled long enough. It's like a 1-3 chance at this point. They're thinking of doing something clearly though. What a game 1. So it can't be a land, otherwise I would have just played it and I would die. So it's got to be a spell. Bubble Snare. Targeting that, sure. Alright, well there we go. We get Into the Royal back. So they have 13 cards left. So I only have lands left. Might have this. Let's see. So if I have any mill, I'm gonna be in a whole lot of trouble. Sure. So I'm gonna mill them out. Cards in their deck, and we'll take a quick look at what they have in their deck while we're at it. Okay, so they can do some kick stuff with blocking. They have another bubble snare, so that's 2 bubble snares. Some things with their lands they can do. A Turn Timber Symbiosis. So that's something, big mana payoff. Got Balagads, they recur things. It's going to be kind of scary if I am doing a bunch of mill. And their Scoot Swarm, their Domination. Yeah, okay, they concede. Alright, so into game 2. They did have a decent number of non-creature spells, so I think a couple of negate is going to be good. Especially since they almost killed me with my own card. Right, not what I want to be happening. Their creatures, they had a Scoot Swarm, but that's not a big creature. That's not something I really want to tap down. They had some of those Royal Elementals, which could be good to Bubble Snare. Bubble Snare's okay. Deadly Alliance is pretty expensive. Okay, so we take down 1 Bubble Snare. Deadly Alliance, I guess. They didn't have much flying either, so I think Skydancer is going to be pretty good. To game 2 of match 2 in this traditional draft. Start with the Mill Crab and a Roost and a Stalker. That sounds like a good play to me. On my land, I can kick Roost of Drakes and then play Plunder for 2. Okay, they play a Royal Mage, sure. And here we can play a Swamp. Roll them for 3. Got my Pack Beast. Let's see what I hit. A Riptide, Familiar, sure. And I hit my 4th land, so that's great. Roost of Drake should be on curve then. If I tap land. Sure, so we'll play an island. I care about my party, so I'm not going to send in the Pack Beast. And especially since I drew Deadly Alliance. Not worth the risk. Maybe they're going to try to remove it, or pick between which things to remove. Alright, 4 mana. 5 cards in hand. Get 2 more basics, so they're going big mana here. Sure. already down to 18 cards left in their deck. Are they going to try to kill Ruin Crab? Take it over? Sure. Snare, sure. Alligat, sure. So, land is great. So Spell Shield won't save me here, but Into the Royal could. Plunder first, send in the boys. Alright, Into the Royal. Kicker, sure, and kicker. So maximum Drake value. So that was definitely a mistake. Should have attack all. Whoops. Don't be hasty. Yeah, Skyclad Plunder definitely is great if you've even just got 2 party mates. And I can Royal Mage to get it back too. It's also pretty nice. Bubble Snare maybe? Okay, sure. Attack before. Sure. Install if you want. So if they try to Dominion one of my creatures, like Pack Beast or something, I can Into the Royal, bounce it to hand, and get another Drake at the same time. So they count in my graveyard, so they know it's going to be still expensive, not going to be cheap. So they're all out of blue mana too, so it's highly unlikely they have a counter spell. There we go, more mill, which we'll have to trigger next turn because Stonework Pack Beast is a rogue. So, you know, 6 cards. Yeah, I mean, mill plus rogues plus roost to just stall the game seems pretty strong. They might have one of their fight effects in their hand, probably debating on whether or not to use it or save it for something more impactful. But now we're just going to try to block here, see if they want to trade or if they want to spend their resources. Nope, they okay with trading, and then we'll play a Thought Thief, see if they counter it. Go to combat, swing, mill more, gonna curse something if I want, or a spell to be specific. Sure. We'll do that. Get back into the royal. Kick your spell. I gave you more drakes. It's like a well-oiled machine, and my opponent is not a fan, and they concede, so we're going to be on to match 3. Let's see how we do here. Hasn't let me down so far. Though that first game, that was a that was a nail biter, man. Like down to 1 card in my library, and then milling my opponent out, and knowing I only have lands left in my deck. that was a close one, but we made it there. Rogues got us to victory. Alright, keep 7. We can start with the Polaka Predation. Because I would want to kick this, and I don't have any other kickers, so it's not like I can just wait it out. I'm trying to hide the fact that I have a duelist here. They have an instant, though. So it has to be something that can target players, or something similar. Sure. Let's play the duelist now. Turn on party a little faster. That was actually an incredible mill, because this would have been really sad otherwise for them just to beat the swarm by enchantment. And then we have Skyclave Plunder, so we can draw a number of cards here. So they missed the land drop too, which is important to note. So there's no pressure really. Bubble Snare, Spell Shield, and Rebirth. And then Bubble Snare is even a kicker card, so I can get another Drake while holding up Spell Shield. That's going to be nice. No blocks. Sure, draw a card. So playing the little trick there, kicking it even though it's tapped just to get another drink. And get value out of my spell. Now I have Spell Shield, Malika Rebirth, Soaring Thought Thief, all of these things I can do. Sure. And now I have Deadly Alliance held up for that as well. See if they want to trade. They do not. So we'll play Thought Thief. Now we'll play another Island. don't think it really matters. We'll Deadly Alliance on the Scion. Another card in the graveyard, they're up to 3. We'll swing some Drakes in my Thought Thief. Only 2 more, hitting their second Feed the Swarm. Wow, that is that is nice. Although they do have this fella. 1 more counters. So if they do some counter stuff, they can get it back. It's good to know. But I also have Spell Shield and Malika Rebirth here as backup. And their creatures. We're trying to do some kind of a Malika Rebirth of their own, or some kind of a fight effect. We'll see. See what they have. Now here it's interesting, if I Malika Rebirth in the Duelist, I can mill 2 more, so that could be important later on, if I do maybe hit a Crab and get some more mill going on. Excuse me, they are investigating the graveyard, counting things. Maybe trying to recur something. Sure. So, Malika Rebirth or Spell Shield. Maybe do Spell Shield to advance the clock. Get another Drake in here. And there we go. So gonna turn the Rogue and hit 8. They're buff. Now we're gonna be trading up because this is a 1-drop and they have just 2 and 4 drop. So they go to 7, putting them dead on board next turn, unless they get a thing to stop me flying. Okay, they don't. So we're on to game number 2 in match 3 of this draft. So they're focused a lot on +1/+1 counters. They did have some recursion there. They did have that skeleton, the green-black skeleton that can return from the graveyard. I don't know if they want negates. Although they did have 2 Feed the Swarms, so they could have removed my enchantments if I had been less lucky in milling those from them. So maybe putting at least 1 of those in could be good. I feel like Bubble Snare is definitely going to be good against them. Guess a Seafloor Stalker. Oh, this hurts. If only that was an island. This would be an amazing hand. Okay, this is keepable. I think I send back Duelist. Or I could send back an island. 42% chance to draw land. But I do get 2 draws before I hit my 3rd land drop. Actually, I would get 3 draws. So I'll be a little greedy here. And it looks like we're going to be paid off. If I won't attack me, they'll probably play a 4-drop. Maybe that 3-2 draws a card, that elf. Okay, Pack Beast, I can trade up for that. My Duelist, if they... So they get 2 cards. I'll give them a Duelist. And a Swamp. Probably pick the Swamp. And if only that first hand had an island in it, could have played the Mill Crab. But no such luck. Okay. Green Hunter. So ideally would be another island on the draw. Okay, a Swamp. But we can... I can't. So I'm okay with giving them some life here. I don't even want to capitalize on that, sure. They have a lot of creatures now. Definitely going with a wide board. So next turn I can Bubble Snare on their Gloom Hunter. I guess with this pass, dodge some sorcery speed removal, such as Feed the Swarm. It probably is Subtle Strike. So do I want to take 1 extra damage and risk losing my... I think we don't block here. Seems like a trap. One card left in hand. Okay, so we can Bubble Snare. I guess we'll attack first. Didn't have a subtle strike, it would seem. Ah, need that island, come on. So my opponent might be mana flooded. They have 3 cards in their hand now. It's going to be tougher to remove sharks because of the ability. So if I can draw an island, that would be swell, but I do not. So I guess we'll just send some in the air. Cards left in their deck, 3 cards in hand. Got Crab Tribal starting. 2/3 of Crab Tribal on the board. They hit their 7th land drop. So they could start doing some scary things with those Bolt lands. Not sure if they have any. Don't attack. Interesting. Go to combat first. So I might be able to mill them out here. Hit their second, feed the swarm. Nine cards left. Can Crab Tribal win the game here? Okay, draw a card and yourself more, sure. Seems good. So they're dead next turn. These are looking good for our hero. Hey, there we go. Second 3-0 in a row, back-to-back wins. Can't complain. Wow, that was a great series there. Hope you enjoyed, especially that second series where it was that first game. That was wild. So, anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.